Accept everything just the way it is. This isn't to say, to in the face of things you desire to be otherwise, to not do anything. But what it does say is to see that what has happened in the past has happened and it cannot be changed. And what is currently presenting itself in this very present moment is what's currently presenting itself, and it is what it is. What's arising now is arising now, and if it's arising, I can't change the fact that it's already arisen. What I can do is accept that it's the way it is, and via that acceptance, I create a foundation to respond to it appropriately. For I'm looking at it clearly, I'm seeing it for what it is. If instead I don't accept what is, just the way it is, I introduce illusion into reality. If something appears in front of me and I don't want to look at it, or I look at it and I project onto it something that isn't there from my own mind, when I respond to it, I'm not responding to the thing itself. I'm responding to the thing itself plus my own projection onto it, which is going to lead to an inaccurate response. It will lead to me making a mistake, potentially, because I'm not responding to what is. I'm changing what is and responding to that. And if I'm not responding to what is, I don't have the ability to be accurate. So no matter what is. And to respond to anything other than what is to lie to yourself and to open the door for mistakes and erroneous behaviors and thoughts. Many of us do this when we see something that we don't like. We refuse to accept it, despite it already presenting itself, whether that's a rejection from someone we care about, or not receiving a job offer, or anything. What's happening is happening now, and you're not changing it. You can change how you react to it, and that's about it. And in order to react to it accurately, with the most amount of likelihood you're going to intelligently interpret, you must not change what you see, and you have to accept what is. Where we need to be careful is to not accept that we can't do anything. There is always something to be done in every situation, and we are always doing something in each situation. This is not surrendering. This is acknowledging what needs to be responded to. And how you respond to it is where your power lies. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Where is the pleasure of last week? Is it still with you? Where is the pleasure of yesteryear? What has it left you with? Many times it's the case that it leaves you with scars and burns, regrets and pain. This is not to say never to seek pleasure, but you're not seeking it because of the pleasure. You're seeking it because of the karma it creates in your life. For example, the pleasure of concentration, samadhi, meditation, is sought not because the pleasure itself, but because the karma of that pleasure provides you with a foundation of equanimity. And that equanimity is able to sustain you and allow you a life where the world's pleasures no longer pull you. It's often the case that the pleasures of this world are competed towards, and many have to do things that they would otherwise not want to do, and it leaves them with karma that they don't want to have in order to have attained it. And if pleasure is the reason you search for things, you're bound to create karma that is detrimental to your spiritual welfare. And you're not left with the pleasure you attained, you're left with the karma of having done so. If the karma is positive, like I said, the pleasure should be pursued, but not for its own sake. If pleasure comes to you, do not avoid it. Do not chase after it. Pleasure is incidental, and it should be this way. It will come to those who seek wholesome actions. And ironically, those who do not seek it tend to experience more pleasure than most will ever. Not because they're searching for it, but because they have no need for it. Do not, under any circumstance, depend on a partial feeling. Partial feeling is a sense based on incomplete knowledge, or an emotional trigger. Oftentimes, these partial feelings come in the form of anger, lust, hatred, jealousy. And acting out of these emotions, when you don't have full context of what's happening, will more often than not lead to regret, even if in certain circumstances it leads to a positive outcome. To become a master of life, to become certain, to stop creating regret, wait, be patient, and seek out information that is solid, and act only in accordance to what you know and not what you think you know. There will be times when you have to make a decision and you don't have all the information you need. In these circumstances, default to what you do know and use those as the anchor point and not speculation and assumption on what's happening. Oftentimes, we have to make decisions in the unknown, but we never have to depend on partiality.